Today is October 30th, 2014. The beautiful Key West, Florida. Off over my shoulder, you can see the sunlight. It's another beautiful day in paradise. This isn't an audio tape, this recording is intended to assist with study habits and test taking. The ambient sounds in this recording reflect what's going on in my community, the street sounds, cars, traffic, nature, trucks, mopeds, people walking, dogs, people walking, children, the airport in the background, perhaps the background sound of boats. We do have a big military contingent in town doing flybys. So any of those sounds, or my coughing, or the clicking of the keyboard, all those sounds, they reassure you all's well in the outside world. This audio recording is about study habits and test taking. It is intended to assist me in passing a national exam. And it is intended to assist you in passing whatever exam you're interested in passing. So sit or lie comfortably. Loosen or remove any article of clothing that may restrict or confine you. Take a good deep breath, and as you exhale, allow your eyes to close down. And in the background is the sound of planes going by and birds singing in the trees. It's a beautiful day in paradise. I want you to go inside and become aware of your inner wisdom. All your life you've been learning. You learned how to raise your head, flip from side to side, creep, crawl, walk, run. Oh yeah. All the things you've learned to do throughout your life. Up and down stairs, riding a bike, being in love, having friends, having fights, making up, resolving things, realizing there's incompatibility and moving away. There's all kinds of things you've learned in your life, and you've learned how to do them to a certain level of expertise based upon your willingness, your interest, and often how meaningful the activity is. So today, I want you to go inside your own skin and just breathe and become aware of how meaningful it is to breathe deeply, breathing in and breathing out. As all the background sounds reassure you all is well in the outside world, you become aware now of the sound of your breathing. And allow the sound of my voice to guide you deeper into the quiet place as all those background sounds reassure you all is well in the outside world, or you're safe to go deeper. If anything should occur which requires your immediate attention, you rouse yourself with full waking state clarity, bringing with you all the creative juices of your inner world, and resolve whatever it is that requires your immediate attention. But for now, the background sounds reassure you all is well in the outside world. And it's time for you to prepare to study effectively, learn and grow. Breathe deep and easy. I'm going to talk to your body a bit while you listen to the sound of your breathing, and know that the sound of your breathing will take you through all your effective studies, all your effective test takings and examinations, all your success and celebration on the other side of your successful passage through a process of studying a particular topic and assessing your skill set through recognition. Breathing deep and easy. There's different ways to know things. There's the knowing. And sometimes we don't know. And sometimes we don't even know that we don't even know. Toes relax. Ball of the feet, arch the feet, heels turn loose and limp and lazy, and you just listen to the sound of your breathing. And allow the sound of my voice to guide you into that quiet place where you are wise, and it's all in there. You're already aware, you're curious and willing and interested because it's meaningful. There's something wonderful about refreshing yourself and learning new things and framing things differently once life experience has come in after you've learned something. You don't have to do it on automatic. You can look at something with fresh eyes and go, I've grown beyond that. I understand something differently now. My wisdom is upon me. It is all in there. Breathing deep, breathing easy. This particular study habits test taking recording is targeting on already in there knowing. You are wise. Deep inside, you know, and you know that you know. But sometimes in the outside world, we don't know. And we don't know that we don't know, and that's why we study. And as we study, we become aware. Oh, we become aware. We know that we don't know. Oh, that's kind of embarrassing. There's things I don't know. Yeah, okay, fine. Breathing deep and easy, and then we study them. And you sit or lie comfortably, and you let yourself study, and you absorb the material. Then your mind sorts it away into the place of most relevance so that it's available for your recall when you require it. All the things that you study are leaving a permanent and lasting impression upon your subconscious mind, available for when you require it. All those important things that you study get locked away in your brain in the place of perfect application for your skill set in the external world. Familiarity. There comes a time when we know that we know, and that's fun. A little bit arrogant, but fun. And we clumsily step all over our own feet because it hasn't become automatic yet, the knowing that we know. Then there comes a time when, well, you've studied enough and you've practiced your skills, or you've learned how to apply them, or you've learned how to examine them more thoroughly from many different perspectives, so you make wise decisions in previously unexplored experiences. And every human being you sit with will be a previously unexplored experience until you engage and make your connection. And so as you are studying, you engage with this topic, the person whose theory it is, the person who's written the material. You sense, what is the message this person is seeking to provide me in a very useful manner in the outside world? And how do I apply it in such a way, breathing deep and easy, as I become aware of how wonderfully easy it is to learn and to apply the things I've learned, so that I know, and I don't know that I know, I just do it. Breathing deep and easy, there are two forms of unknowing. There's the unknowing and unknowing that I'm unknowing. There's the unknowing and knowing that I know, and I can get out of my own way, like when you learn how to drive a car. And at first had to pay very close attention. And if you've grown and survived all of that training with a large instrument, you learned. And you learn how to do certain things on automatic, so you do it so well that you're a safe driver. That's what safe drivers do. That's what competent learners do. And it's all right to become more and more competent with every breath, the background sounds. Reassure you all's well in the outside world, and I'll continue talking to your body, ankles, shins, and calves, relaxing. Knees, thighs, buttocks, and pelvic organs relax more with every breath, and go deeper into your breathing, deeper into awareness that those things that you are learning, you will recall easily. Those things that you are learning, you recognize quickly. Breathing deep and easy, you observe things. First time you might go, that's interesting. If there's a meaningful load on it, you might remember it the first time. If it's not meaningful, you might have to look at it 2 or 3 times and become aware of what's meaningful out of it. You are okay about learning at your own speed, whether it be quickly or slowly or real slow. Or if you choose that this issue is not meaningful, maybe you choose that you ignore it. But today, you're practicing for study habits, so you're learning how to focus your mind and put your mind upon the subject at hand. For this subject at hand, it is a test. And for this test, it is a cognitive behavioral frame of reference for all the adults, for most of the adults, for many of the adults. The focus is primarily cognitive behavioral. And for children, play therapy, primarily play therapy, Adlerian play therapy. Breathing deep and easy, female or male air-breathing mammal. Listening to this recording of It's Okay to Learn. It's wonderful to succeed. And it's even more wonderful to look back and celebrate the success of all your hard work, because it was hard work. Learning all that stuff, yeah, it's all in there. Once you reach the point of exam, you become aware. There's a wonderful feeling of well-being in there. You know your material, you're just out to verify it. That's a skill test. That's a knowledge set. That's content. All you gotta do is recognize it. Breathing deep, breathing easy. It's not like you're theorizing new thoughts. Although you may find you do it much better once you have that old foundation comfortably filed into your memory banks as you learn what other people have done before you, and you allow yourself to engage fully with each theoretical perspective as it suits most effectively the test at hand. You become aware of the frame of reference and what the relevant parts are of every question you look at. Every data bit fits into the perfect place like a large jigsaw puzzle, and you like jigsaw puzzles. They're fun. You get to see the unfolding bigger picture. It's refreshing to do a refreshing experience, and you are refreshing yourself by doing this prep for a large exam. So allow yourself to refresh thoroughly. While you're studying, it's a very hedonistic and pleasurable thing. You find it's enjoyable to refresh yourself and go, oh yeah, I remember studying that. Or like, oh, you know, I don't remember studying that. Is that new material? Or did I just not find it meaningful? How do I find it meaningful today? What is relevant about this to me? What is it that makes this so durable that it's going to be on exam for my national license? Breathing deep and easy, becoming more aware of the sounds of your breathing, and I'll continue talking to your body, and you just continue listening to the sound of your breathing in the same way you do when you're studying, in the same way you do when you're taking your exam. You allow your breathing to put your focus on what is most relevant. Your unconscious mind compares that question, that case presentation, with what you know is most relevant, what theoretically is relevant, what fits the diagnosis, what fits the treatment plan, what symptoms were presented. Breathing deep and easy, you automatically become more and more aware of what is necessary to be a very functional and competent practicing professional, and you enjoy it. And that's meaningful. All these things, all these steps that take you there are meaningful, just like a child learning to rise from creeping and crawling and take those first tottering steps and maybe go down once or twice before there's a rhythm and the walking is fine. And then maybe there's you learn to do the stairs and ride a bike, and don't cross the street before you look both ways. Right? You learn that. You probably heard don't cross the street when you were little too and put that part aside, so you put it into look both ways before you cross the street, and that way you stay alive and you do well and become a functional adult in a busy Western world. Breathing deep and easy, male or female air-breathing mammal, it's all right. To study. To find meaning in the focus at hand. To become aware of how pleasurable it is to stroke your memories and observe as they elicit the wonderful responses. You know your stuff. It's all in there. And when you're taking your prep course, you're refreshing those memories and discovering what areas you didn't pay attention to before that you're going to pay attention to now because it's relevant, and you notice those things quickly. You become aware of knowing what you know. You become aware of knowing what you don't know, which is better than not knowing what you don't know. So now you know what you don't know when you're studying. And then you study it more thoroughly and repeat it and find this meaningful link into familiarity. And then you know that you know, and when it becomes automatic and you just let yourself do it, you take the exam. It's a wonderful thing, this flexibility on when your test is set. You've got another however long you've set for doing your study until you feel comfortable with this. This is a big exam. And there's a lot of material over your many years of being in school. It's okay to refresh yourself now. This is wonderful closure. This is really knowing your stuff. This is having made an investment in yourself in time and money and attention and meaning when you could have been doing other things. Water skiing, making love, drinking, dancing, all these other things, playing pool, playing golf, playing tennis, playing. Instead, you said, I have a dream and I have a vision, and these are the things that I'm doing to achieve that vision. Blessed are those who dream dreams and are willing to pay the price to make those dreams come true. Your studying is part of your dreaming. You dreamed, you imagined, you applied, and as you pass the end of this study period, you approach the exam with great joy. All your study time, you've been preparing for this moment. It's like going to kindergarten for the first time and stepping off the bus at school. All your first 5 years have been preparing you for this moment. Oh, you did that well. Or maybe you didn't. But look, you survived all that, and wait, you got to first grade too, and you did that well. Or maybe you didn't, but oh, look, you survived that too. These study habits are just a long line of study that has allowed you to come to this place in your life, and it's a good thing. To become aware that those ideas and thoughts that you are studying, those theorists you are studying, those concepts that you are studying are leaving a permanent, lasting impression upon your subconscious mind. Available for your recall when you require it, and you trust yourself completely. Deep inside, there's a quiet place, and it knows all this stuff, and you know that you know. And you're unaware that you know, which is even funnier, because you know that you know, and at some level you're refreshing yourself when you study for this exam. It's refreshing to refresh yourself as you become aware of what you know and what you need to pay attention to and allow it to become automatic, just like the sound of your breathing. Hands, wrists, forearms, elbows, upper arms, shoulders. Relax more with every breath. Go deeper down. Into droopy, drowsy slumber, belly, stomach, chest relaxing with every breath. Go deeper down. Small of the back, middle of the back, upper back relaxing. There's a quiet place inside you. You're prepared for this study and you're prepared for this exam. And when you're done, you look back on this time when you've been preparing and you thank you. In this time when you are studying, you look forward to the person who's celebrating and you thank you for all that hard work and all that applied meaning and value and effort that you applied to becoming competent in anything you're studying at this time. Becoming competent in anything you do. Becoming competent as a professional in the independent world, and trust yourself. It's good. And all the background sounds of that woodpecker chatting in the background reassures you as well in the outside world. Your whole life will have background sounds. The most important thing right now is the sound of your breathing and the sound of my voice guiding you into that wisdom where you know and you know that you know, so that you can become more aware and let it become, you know, and you don't have to pay attention to it consciously unless you need the information, and then it comes up automatically. And as you study all the things that you are studying, all the concepts, all the ideas, all the values, all the ethics, all the things that are relevant, are leaving a permanent and lasting impression upon your subconscious mind available for your recall when you require it. So when you sit down for your exam, when you schedule your exam, there's that sense of excitement. It's like having a love affair, and you know how good it is. And you go in and really enjoy it. It's one of those pleasing things, and you look back on it and say, yeah, that was wonderful. I have passed through this learning experience, and my professional virginity is gone, and now I'm on to doing wonderful and noble things because I was well trained before I gave up that internship, before I gave up that pre-professional life. I was well prepared to be where I am today. Trust yourself completely, breathing deep and easy, and all the background sounds reassure you all's well in the outside world. Throat and neck relaxing. If the teeth are touching, allow them to part. Allow all the jaw muscles to relax, and good. And excellent. So when the time comes to take your exam, you walk in excited. It's like those amazing love affairs where the first kiss is interesting and the next one gets better. Breathing deep and easy, and you know that you know this stuff. And you sit down with that quiet confidence of knowing I can please this test because I can please myself, having prepared myself thoroughly. All those things that I studied have left a permanent lasting impression upon my subconscious mind, available for my recall now as I take this test. I take my time. I read every question. I read it slowly. I read it backwards. I notice every issue that is presented. I accept every issue as it is presented. I accept all the facts presented in the case as true. I look for the diagnosis. I look for the symptoms that indicate the diagnosis I'm looking at. What are the presenting symptoms? Mood, affect, behavior, thoughts. What does that remind me of in the diagnosis? What treatment plan does that suggest? What referrals would be recommended? Of these symptoms, what intensity and duration are they? What is my first priority when I first meet this person? To return them to a previous, more effective function. To use a cognitive behavioral reference with most of the presenting cases, adults. To use an Adlerian play therapy approach with most children. To behave ethically, to be benevolent, and to avoid harm. To be of benefit to the client in finding the right referrals for the presenting issues, and to make good connections ethically with signed consent forms. For access to referrals and collateral information sources. Breathing deep and easy, it's time to really enjoy your professional life. And as this exam is completed, you look back upon it and you applaud you back here who took the time to prepare. You applaud you who took the time last year to do charity work. and walked in and just skimmed by. She got to take a look at it, see what it was, and then she's still here. She survived all that stuff. Yeah. You applaud you for being here and doing it again, and doing it again, and doing it again. And you find that each project that you're doing allows itself to come to the forefront to address it most fully, and then it is completed, and the next most pressing issue emerges forward, and that's the gestalt of your life. And good, you've prepared well for today. This day of study, this day of exam, this day of skills, this day of service. And I thank all the human beings that have been or ever will be that have assisted me and protected me and guided me on my journey. I particularly want to thank Edie for all of her support, Margaret for all of her support, Lisbeth for all of her support, Janet for all of her support, Mia for all of her support, Franz for all of his support. I thank all of you. Thank you for bringing me where I am today, and for all the people that I did not mention, who are living or dead. I thank you for every person who has opened the door to me to be here where I am today, studying and preparing for this national exam, passing and completing this national exam, celebrating a professional life of independent licensure, and allowing myself to be of greater service to the community. I thank you. I thank all of you. And now I'm going to take 60 seconds of silence to pray my prayers of gratitude for all the people that I did not mention. And good. And excellent. And good. And excellent. And now come all the way back to full awakening state with a wonderful feeling of well-being, bringing yourself all the way back. Number 5, as I count from 5 to 1, bringing yourself all the way back to full waking state. Number 4, feeling wonderfully good all over, unless you just want to go to sleep. Number 3, feeling better and better in everything that you do and everything you study and every place you are. Number 2, feeling better than, more refreshed than you felt in quite some time. So delighted to be refreshing yourself like this with this refresher. Number 1, eyes open. Take a good deep breath, reach out and stretch. Feeling wonderfully good all over, bringing yourself all the way back to full waking state, knowing that throughout your day, every day for the rest of your life, for as long as you choose, every breath reassures you you're a marvelous learner. You know how to pick up what's relevant in the situation at hand, both foreground and contextual, and you enjoy your life more fully each and every day. Good and excellent.